Oh, let me give myself a restream here, chat too. Okay.
You live
The
now?
should be live. Yep. Theta's not connecting. I have you, viewer. Hello, viewer. Hello, viewer. Okay, how is it going? Do we have people coming in? Yes, we do. Hello, D-Live. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I'm going to, hi. Hi, Caper. I'm gonna move my chat over here where I can actually read it. And I don't think there's anything else I need to put out. How are you today? Hey, I learned something about this Restream chat, by the way.
What's that?
On the Restream chat, you know how you have to like click on a person to respond to them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that kind of changes it so that you can't type in the chat and have it go everywhere. But if you come over here to this little R with a down arrow on the side and click back on Restream, then I can click in here and it'll type to everybody again.
Yes.
Seaweed is really an interesting plant. I can't eat it. I'm allergic to iodine. Corey can have it.
I love it.
Corey loves it. What do you have that's new on seaweed? What did you learn that's new about seaweed? Okay, I'll just leave that there. There we go. Hello, everybody. Oh, you harvest it. Where are you at that you harvest it? And do you dry it? I mean, you can't send it wet, I guess. How do you dry it? Tell me all about that. That's interesting. What kind do you harvest and what ocean are you taking it out of? Specifically Chondrus crispus. Oh, I'm going to look that up. Chondrus crispus. What does that look like? Oh, it's kind of brown. Some of it's green. I guess it's brown when it dries, huh? It looks like a lung. Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Cool. What's it good for? It does look just like a lung. Look at this. It looks like a lung skeleton. It's kind of cool. Oh, that's where it comes from. Oh, cool. Okay, carrageenan comes from that. Very interesting. So is this a shallow water thing? Who will be the first to detect the test the psychedelic seaweed? If I was an allergic, I would be the first. I'd totally be in. Can you hear? Okay. Yeah, it is used in hundreds of projects. A lot of skincare stuff uses that, doesn't it? And there's food that they put that into. It's kind of a thickener, right? Now I know what we're talking about here. Cool. Yeah, it is used in 100 products. Okay, so the collapse and Caper and my few other viewers who are here with me today Today I'm gonna leave the topic up to you guys. I'm gonna, if you guys are familiar with Jitsi, yes, the most expensive skin creams. It makes it really thick and slick and smooth, and it makes your skin feel fabulous.
Got a half hour.
Okay, I just can't use it. So for those of you non-iodine allergics, that is where all some of the smoothness from your skin creams come from. It's real nice on your skin. So to my viewers who are here with me tonight, Ask the Witch is something I've been watching other YouTube channels and people who kind of do what I do, and I'm trying to bring my more of what I did in my healing center to you guys on the internet. A little bit, I have a bigger reach on the internet, and I don't have to have a brick and mortar to have a place to meet. Hey Nick, how are you? Yeah, you're on the right page now. Hi. All right, thanks for coming by, Caper. So tonight's back to where I was at. YouTube channels and watching some other people who do what I do and see the things that they're offering. And they offer
Why don't they?
Yeah, it's not on.
Okay.
And then so I'm offering something new that I haven't done before. And it's Ask the Witch, kind of like coming in and having a mini reading or a mini problem solving session. Hey Nameless, thanks. So I want to, can you turn your volume down? I can hear myself.
All the way down.
Is it?
All of it.
That's weird.
No volume at all.
Okay. That's really weird. Oh, it's coming from your earphones. Turn your earphone down.
Really?
I have really good hearing except for men's voices in loud rooms.
Obviously.
Obviously. Sorry. So, Ask the Witch. And we're going to use Jitsi. You don't have to put your face on it if you don't want to. It's nice if you do, but you don't have to. I'm going to put a link up here on the screen. I'm going to take this down. And I'm going to go like that. And if you go to Jitsi Meet online, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's a little box there for you to put a code in, and the code is Ask the Witch. So if you want to talk and you want to, if you got something on your mind, or you have a problem needs solving, or you have a situation that you're trying to make a decision about, bring it and let's talk about it. So I'm going to change my screen here. Side, boom, and face, boom. There we are. Nope. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's that one. One moment. All right. Ask the Witch, get some truth. That's right. Get some answers. Get some solutions. Unblock yourself. Oh, let me bring that code forward here. Order. Move to top. Nope. Order. Enable review. Totally awesome with this ridiculousness here. Move up. Nope. Not there. I don't know why it's not showing me my text. There you are. Got it. There's the code. And if you ring into the meeting, hey Code Red, how are you? You got some action on your Telegram room last night. That was really awesome to see that. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for...
Did she?
She did. She got some action last
Good.
night. Yep. I'm really happy I'm really happy that viewers are keeping you busy with that. You're doing such a great thing for everybody. It's so appreciated. All right. What's new with you, Code Red? We've got 9 viewers now. 10 all together. Did you get your new part for your freeze dryer, Code Red?
You have 18 on my channel.
Okay.
7 on my Twitch.
Okay. She'll be up and running by the weekend. Woohoo! That's awesome. That's awesome. We have about a half an hour here for any calls in. If you want to talk. I would love to hear from you. Running by the weekend. So as it starts to cool down, Code Red, and the produce changes for the winter. Yep, I see you there. So what kind of produce do you think you're gonna have for the winter? Will you be freezing over the winter? You'll be freezing over the winter for sure, but will you be freeze drying over the winter? And what kind of things in your area will you be freeze drying? Hey, Facking Free. So as it starts to cool down, Code. Nice to have you. Let's do this. Maybe people don't know where to find Jitsi. And I don't know how to change the window. I'm going to do this. Let's see if that... Okay, so...
Go to here and close out that.
Thanks.
There you go. Go back.
Okay.
And check my gain.
It's just this microphone.
It's your gain is super high.
I have it on high usually because I want them to hear you.
Hold on a little here. Back you off a little bit. Okay. Try that.
Better? Thank you. You had to pickle eggs with them. Oh, you have so many eggs, you don't even know what to do with them. And when your dryer is down, yeah. We love pickled eggs. Corey and I made some last winter, and we finished the last of them early this spring, and they were really good. What did you pickle them with, woman? You get over a dozen eggs a day. Holy crap. You need a little basket on the end of your driveway, too. $5 a dozen or something. Hot peppers, onions, and garlic. Hey, Michelle. Oh, what? You want to call in. Okay, so go to Jitsi Meat. And scroll down, and there's a little box at the bottom of the screen. And just type in your code, which is Ask the Witch, and ring in. Okay, so hot peppers, onions, and garlic. When are you two starting your tea prep couple ASMR channel? Holy God. That sounds like it needs special hashtags and adult permissions. That's what that sounds like to me. Right, Code Red? I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I've been doing a little recon on what ASMR channels are doing over there. And a lot of them are really adult. I'm not going to do that, so.
There's some decaf tea for you, baby.
Oh, I love you so much.
You should.
I do. See that? Andy brings me tea. Andy brings me tea. Oh, yeah. Perfect. With a camping spoon. The Collapse wants to know when we are starting our tea prep couple ASMR channel. I said
tea
that.
Prep ASMR?
Uh-huh. Couple channel.
We just sip tea together? ASMR?
It sounds very adult. Tea and prepping and couple ASMR.
We can do that.
We have to do it in a dimly lit room.
Fucking A. Or red light. We'll turn the red light on for that channel.
Woo! No. That's not the first time we've been asked for that channel, by the way. Goodness. Nope. I didn't know that ASMR had a name. You know, I didn't know ASMR had a name. And Corey's like, I'm going to do an ASMR. I said, I don't know what that is. And he showed me. I'm like, oh, I know what that is. I really like the visual ASMRs where you see somebody puts paint down in different colors and then they swipe and then they, oh, good. You know, and you see all these really visually interesting textures and things. I like those. And I like those to silence. I don't like them to music. I just like them to quiet. Hey, okay, looks like we have... Hello, feller Jilster. I'm going to make sure you get a camera here. What's going on? Okay, camera. Everybody's camera should be... Hello. Nope. Okay, almost. There are 3. You could just slowly add each ingredient. Oh. You like the chopping food prep ones, Code Red? Treva likes the slow mixture of things. Reiki ASMR is good.
Hey, Treva.
I haven't seen a Reiki ASMR. You'll have to send me a link. That sounds really interesting. Okay. All right. Hi, Michelle. Let's see if we can... Why I can't hear you. Hold on. I want to make sure my speakers are on where they should be. Can you hear me? Nope. Can you hear me, Michelle? I hear somebody's breath. Going...
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me. I can hear you. Okay. Awesome. How are you today?
I'm okay. Just got off work. Outside with the dog.
Oh, nice. How's your weather where you're at?
It's really nice today. Like, we had our windows open. It'll be freezing one day and warm the next, so everybody's sick all the time.
Yeah. We have had some cooler nights, and the cooler days have been really nice, but the cooler nights I have to wear a hat to bed and put my blanket on. I'm not suited for the cold weather, but I am appreciating the coolness of the daytime for sure. What can I help you with today?
Oh, I was just hopping on to say hi and trying this app out.
It's kind of a neat app, right?
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
It's a lot.
Sorry, I keep muting because of the dog.
Oh, it's okay. What kind of dog do you have?
She's a golden doodle.
Aw, like Charlie. Charlie the golden doodle. So, I had a girlfriend who had a golden doodle, and my dog just was best friends with Charlie the golden doodle, And I think that when I take her to the park, she looks around for him still, because, you know, that's where she played with him, and he's not in our park now. So they're fun dogs. They're really sweet, good-natured animals.
Yeah, he's very rotten, and he only likes me. Only I can take him out. Only I can. It kind of drives me crazy, actually.
How old
He's
is
a sweet
he?
boy. He'll be 5 next month.
Aw. Opal is going to be 5 in... She's going to be 5 in January.
Boxers are my favorite. Don't tell him that.
Oh, I'm not going to tell.
They're my favorite.
They're such funny dogs, and they're so sweet. She is not currently upside down on my sofa. She was upside down on the sofa earlier today. Legs all stretched out and belly up with her little spots. Yeah. Well, while I have you on, do you have any requests or topics or things you want to see come on the air?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just come on and listen.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you joined us. That's nice. Yeah, I appreciate you calling. What else do you have going this week? It's just you have work and...
Well, actually, we're off tomorrow, so it's lame. I said I can't wait to sleep.
Oh, that's
After I take
nice.
the kids to school, I'm going to come home and go back to sleep for a little while. So I was like, that's pretty lame, but that's what I'm excited about.
No, it's not lame. Everything in this world wears you out 100% faster than it used to, and I think we all need a little extra rest. So get it while you can. I think
I did, by the way, I did let my sister try your tea.
Mm-hmm.
The, I don't know what it is now, but it used to be the restful.
The Quiet Rest?
Oh, yes, Quiet Rest.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you remember, but her fiance passed.
Yes.
A little over a month ago, so it seems to be helping her when she remembers. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I told her if she will consistently use it and she sees that that it really, really, really helps, then I'm going to get her some more. So.
Oh, you're so sweet. How is she doing?
Not very good. They just put his house on the market. His daughters did. They weren't married, so she has no, rights to anything. And he always said he was going to leave this and this and this to her, and never got it in writing. So it's kind of like,
oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. So they went through last week and cleared out his house, her and his daughters, and she's just struggling.
That's really hard. That's really hard.
Yeah.
When you have somebody put a policy on each other, just in case,
Yeah.
Even if it's a little one, it doesn't have to be big. Just something,
Yeah.
You've got viewers sending prayers her way. I'm so sorry. I know that your family's been through a lot the last month, and that's really hard. I'm sorry for it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's hard because I don't know what I tell her all the time is what can I do, because I've not ever been through that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never lost, a significant other, and then she goes through all the what ifs, like what if he hadn't gone to the hospital that day, because we really think if he'd have stayed home,
he'd have been okay.
Mm-hmm. So that he called last time she talked to him, he FaceTimed her and he was panicking because they were going to put him on a ventilator. And he did not want that, and she had no say in it. And it was like once they did that, it was it. And the remdesivir, whatever that medicine is.
The remdesivir?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Why don't we talk about that for a minute, since let's expand that topic a little bit. What can we do for people who've lost loved ones? Make phone calls a couple times a day. Just check in. How you doing? Send a text. Something. When people lose somebody, they need to feel connected, because everything about their world it feels separated and isolated, and it's really hard to ground yourself, and it's really hard to be present because shock and grief really take it out of you. So little phone calls, little messages, cute little pictures. These are kinds of little things that you can send and do to somebody who's lost someone immediately. Checking in, how are you? Check in with them at bedtime. Check in with them first thing in the morning. Check in with them as they come home from work. The times when, they're most used to first seeing their person. And let them know that they're being thought about and loved. Let her know, hey, good morning, I love you. I was thinking about you before I go to bed. Good night. How you doing? Okay, are you ready for bed? Talk to her for a little bit, maybe while she's going through her bedtime routine. It seems so minimal, but it's huge. It's really huge. When you suddenly lose somebody, everything in your world feels like it's in a vacuum. So those little things, these things don't have to be big. They don't have to cost you money. They don't have to be any of those things. They just, creating a different type of connection, a more present connection, is probably the biggest thing that you can do. Treva says, sometimes just being there to listen is the best. If she calls you up and she just needs to cry, it's okay. Cry. Sit with her and cry,
We try to spend a lot of time with her. She actually works for the same company I do, so I'm IMing her on the computer all day. And on the weekends when she doesn't have her daughters, we try to, keep her busy.
Good.
She's just struggling right now because, people don't know what to say. Nobody ever knows the right thing to say. And she said, I feel like everybody, and everybody wants to say, I'll pray for you, and you do, and that's great. But she's like, I'm angry.
Yeah.
It doesn't make, because people want to say, oh, he's in a better place, he's this, because he did hurt a lot. He had a tumor, which was benign. He'd had it for 20 years, but he got headaches a lot. So, he was in pain a lot. And they're like, oh, he's in a better place. And she's like, no, that's not what I want to hear. And I'm not feeling peace. I'm not asking, talking to God. I'm angry with him right now. So.
And you know what? That's a part of the process. And and it's okay. Remind her it's okay to be angry. When she says, you know what, I'm just so sick of hearing it, you say it's okay to be angry about it. It is unfair. It is really unfair. And it was very sudden.
He's only 49.
Oh, that's...
And she has found a friend in one of my other friends whose husband passed the exact same way the following morning. He was 49 as well. And it was like a mirror. I would listen to my friend's updates about her husband, and then I would get updates from my sister about Pat. And they were just exactly the same. And so they've connected a little bit. It's easier when you have someone that's kind of going through it too, or has been through it. I think that, and she's looking, for support group and stuff like that. So
good.
And I think our girls, they're probably going to need therapy too.
Group support's really good. It's really good, especially for loss like that. Group support's really good. And listening, when you get to listen to somebody else in the group, and sometimes you solve some of your own grieving by listening and hearing what you might say, in your mind as you're listening to somebody, what advice you might give them or what support you might give them, and as you're thinking, well, maybe if she did this, or I wonder if that would help, or maybe she could try that, or you think these things to yourself, you start healing your own grieving because you start mentally becoming proactive in the process of helping somebody else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, I hope she finds some new friends there, and I hope she finds some solace for her heart. That's, I'm very sad about that. Does she, how's she sleeping?
I don't think she sleeps very well. And this morning when I messaged her, because she wasn't showing that she was on at work, and so I messaged her, and she's like, "Oh, her internet had gone out." She's like, "And I feel bad because I lost it on the girls, and her girls are 6 and 10."
Oh.
And I guess they didn't do anything, but she was just feeling overwhelmed, and the dog peed on the floor, and she's just kind of lost it. And then she's like, "I feel so bad, but I was just so sad about the house because they did a final walkthrough, and now it's on the market." And I'm like, "It's okay. It's okay."
She's got a lot of pressure. Her kids will understand.
Mm-hmm.
Just, boy, just reminder. You said something earlier, and I wanted to go back to it. You said, she feels angry about what happened, and she feels a lot of regret about not keeping him home instead of sending him to the hospital. And one of the things I learned when I did hospice volunteering, and this was information that they taught me to share with families and loved ones of the people who were dying. They said that there are no wrong decisions in the moment of a crisis. You do the best you can with the information you have and with what's being offered or given or presented. And that's it. When you beat yourself up over could've, should've, would've, is personal torture, and it's unnecessary. A lot of times things happen really fast like this did, and there's not really any best decision. There's only the most best decision for the immediate moment, and that's really hard for humans to live with because we want the best possible outcome, and we live our lives that way. We plan and we take care and we do we organize so that our life has some kind of order and we have some kind of expected outcome, right? And when we don't have that opportunity with a sudden illness or an accident or a trauma like this, we go back and think about it a lot. What could I have done? What should I have done? How should he would still be here if.
Yep.
I know that. I know that weight very personally for myself. So the best advice I can give her, truly from my heart, is to put that down. She can't change it. She did the best that she knew in the moment, and it makes logical sense to send somebody who's very sick to the hospital. She made a logical choice. So,
well, she wasn't even with him she lives in Indiana, and he was visiting his daughter in Ohio when he went to the hospital.
Oh, God.
So his, at the immediate care center, they said he was tested positive for COVID, and he was like, "Take another test," because he didn't, he didn't believe it.
Right.
And so she talked him into it. But my sister couldn't do anything about it. She couldn't come up there and make him leave, She couldn't tell them they could not do the ventilator. She couldn't. And his daughter was just doing what the doctor said needed to be done.
Right. Okay, so this brings up another really good preparation moment, doesn't it? Make sure that your healthcare orders are written out.
Yeah.
If you have a desired protocol for your treatment, if something should happen to you and you go into the hospital, write it out. It's called an advance directive. You can do it legally, or you can just write it down. And if you write it down, you walk in and say, "I wrote my advance directive this morning. This is it. The date is on it, and I've signed it." That'll work. Corey has my information, and when I have things that need to be done medically, he always goes with me, and he is very well aware if anything wrong happens to me, how I want things to go. So have those conversations with your family and friends, people who take care of you, and write it down. And so that if there is a situation like this, somebody has it written down in your hand that how you want things to go. Do you want to be revived? Do you want resuscitation? Do you want life-saving measures of any kind? Do you want a blood transfusion? At the last minute, you decided to become an organ donor. Any of those things, write them down and take them with you when you go into the hospital. Because every time you fill out paperwork and are admitted to the hospital, you have to give an answer for the advance directive. And Jules is right. Also, make sure a family member has power of attorney, or the hospital will be able to follow their own protocol. So when you go into the hospital, you make sure in your paperwork that you give the power of attorney to someone else. I will be giving mine to Corey. Advance directives are very important, says Socks. Yes, they are extremely important. I have been asked before if I have an advance directive, and it never really impacted me until the other day when I got asked if I had an advance directive. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. It's a very unpleasant question to have to answer. So think about it before you're in a situation where you're in a crisis. And write it down. Give it to the people who are going to be taking care of you and coming with you to the hospital. And then give it to the hospital. Because they will do whatever they want to you if you don't have an advance directive. So, this is one extra way that you have a little bit of power in surviving the medical care system. Does your sister have a church community or neighbors that she is friendly with?
Now, she used to have one when she was over here in Kentucky, but she doesn't. I think there's a place she's trying to start going to over in Indiana where she lives, because she doesn't want to leave Indiana now, because that's where he's buried, and that's where, and I think she's looking for something like that, and she's in a couple groups on like Facebook and stuff.
Okay.
But it's still like I said, when her girls go to their dads every other weekend, and we just kind of pull her over. Let's go do something. Let's come over and watch a movie. We'll go grab something to eat, just something.
Yeah.
Or at least check on her, because sometimes she's like, I'm just going to clock out of work. And what does she say? She says, Friday nights are now my pick up Moe's Mexican food and lay in bed and watch movies. I'm like, okay, that's what you want to do.
Okay. Yeah. Follow her lead, but stay on her. What can we do for you today? Because I know you're grieving about this too.
I'm okay. I have my moments. I'm mostly angry, and she was in a really bad marriage.
Aww.
And so I feel like it's just not fair. It's not fair, period. But I'm like, here she finally, it took her 18 years to get out of that marriage. She got two wonderful little girls. And then here comes Pat, and he helped her. The ex-husband runs all over everything and tries to control visitations, and he's narcissistic. He's very mentally abusive. And Pat really helped give her strength and to kind of nip that.
Mm-hmm.
And he helped her with all the court stuff. And it's like when he passed, the ex was trying to do all that stuff again. So I feel like there's nothing I can really do for her, and that's frustrating. I've always been one for her. I'm the little sister, but I'm the fixer for her. And I can't fix this, so.
No, you can't. I'm wondering if there's any legal action that can be taken. And if she wants to. It seems like some things were just not done right. I mean, they were done.
What do you mean with the hospital?
Yeah.
Well, when I will say she'd never heard of that medication before until one of his friends brought it up.
Okay.
Like he and I would talk about stuff. I believe, used to work years ago for Homeland Security.
Okay.
And so I would be like trying to talk to him about all these things. You know, he couldn't tell me much, but
Very useless.
yeah. But here I done forgot where I was going with that. You got my mind all. I forgot where I was going with that.
Court. Papers,
Oh,
letters
his
for the
friend.
hospital. Yes.
After he passed,
Uh-huh.
his friend sent her this big video about that medication. And it's like, you better check and make sure that they didn't give him this. And I told her, I said, you know, I had not specifically heard of that medication, but I'm very leery of a lot of things that they treat with.
Mm-hmm.
And I have my opinions on that. And I just never knew to ask about any specific thing. But she started immediately freaking out and checking, and she found out that they did give him that medicine. And
Oh, boy.
which, they, like I said, they did the same thing with my friend's husband. It was mirror image, like on this day. What is it called when they put them on their bellies?
Prone.
Yes. So one day he would be put that way, and then the next day the other guy would be put that way. And it's just, and I asked my other friend too, I said, did you ask them about that medication? She said, I begged them not to put him on it. She wanted them to do ivermectin and what is it,
Hydroxychloroquine.
Yes. And they wouldn't, they refused. They said they don't do that. So
Wow.
I don't know that there's anything they can do.
It doesn't sound
I mean,
like
it would be more of a waste of, and that's what Becky said. She's like, what would it matter? It's not going to bring him back.
No.
So I don't know.
I'm a letter writer. It helps me put out what is inside of me. I wonder if just doing some writing and some journaling to write it out, she can burn the pages, she can send the journal to the hospital. she could do all kinds of things with that journal when she's done with it. But it's another way to get it out of your system, and because you're writing it down and it's private and it's, you know, it's on paper, you're activating your a variety of senses, your eyes, your sight, your muscle, your motor senses, your thoughts, and your emotions. And so when you activate several senses and processes at once, it moves it. It moves it from painful into the energy of healing. It's part of the way that neurolinguistic programming works on a personal level. So writing down things might really be helpful to her. She could have a little spot and burn it. And she, I hope, is crying a lot. She's got
to get it out.
She has to. She has to. And you know, in another month or two, she's going to wish she wasn't still feeling the way she's feeling now. And that is going to be a really hard period for her. So remind her that there's no rush to fixing the grieving, to stopping it. Stopping it isn't going to be healthy or good for her. And it'll start to...
She may never. I mean,
no.
And that's what I told her. I was like, you may never. I don't want her, you know. The thought of her being alone for the rest of her life breaks my heart. It's way too soon to think of anything else, but she is, you know, she's...
Well, you do think about it because you're very much in the space of being alone and not by your choice.
Yep.
You do think about it. A reminder that it's okay to think about it, and it's a reminder it's okay to not be ready, and a reminder that when she's ready, she'll know, and moving forward will feel good and exciting and happy and like a ready and new adventure for her. And until it feels like that, it's just not time. And that's okay. And anybody else's time schedule doesn't matter, because everybody has a different level of attachment with someone they've lost, and everybody has a different personal way of doing their grieving, because each one of us processes the world very uniquely. And so our grief is a very unique thing to us too. So Give her those reminders as often as you can. And hug her a lot. She is going to probably really miss physical contact. Hugs and things like that, hug her, scratch her back for, rub her feet once in a while. Since you get to see her often enough, just touch her. It helps. It really, really helps to soothe that. And women especially are susceptible to mental illness and physical illness due to lack of physical contact. So love on her a little bit, okay?
Okay.
And tell her kids, hug your mommy, because they're little, and I know they do, but remind them when you see them. Give your mommy hugs, and give your mommy loves, and that will really help her, because at least she has somebody, the little kids there at home with her.
Yeah.
They're a good distraction, but when you're tired, they can also be a real challenge. Not because you don't love them or you don't want them to be there, but because you're taking everything you have to get up in the morning and make it work and make life a thing. And it's okay, take the kids from her for a weekend, or pick them up after school or something, if you can. Take them out, let her go home and have dinner and a soak in the bath and some quiet time, and then bring the kids over later. Give her some time just to herself too, because she'll need that so that she can keep taking care of her kids too. Yeah. And it seems like such an awkward thing to come in and help somebody when they've lost someone, but really it's basic compassion and caring, and you don't have to say anything. A hug is enough. I can't stress this enough. We all think we have to stumble over our words when something like this happens. Just give love. Just give love. Because there's nothing you can say to fix it. There's nothing you can say to turn it around or make it better or make the grieving stop. You just can't. And it's part of, it's a big part of the condition of being a human being. We have all of these amazing experiences we get to have with our bodies and all the things that we can experience in our bodies. Childbirth and lovemaking and food and adrenaline-filled adventures and quiet relaxing and floating in the ocean. A million things that our bodies are good for. And when they're done, and you can't undo it. But people need to know that there really is something on the other side. I know it. I just know it. I've had some really beautiful and unique experiences with people who have passed away that tell me that this is really not the end. We're having an experience here. Are we in a matrix? The machinery of it, I don't know. But I know that we're having this experience in our bodies. And I know that when our body is done, we are not done. We continue on. So remind her of that too. And tell her to start talking to him and asking him to come around. And
Oh, she does, and she
Good.
gets signs from him all the time.
Good.
And we do too. Just like he was a bodybuilder. Like, he was buried in his gym clothes.
Oh.
And he loved Ozzy Osbourne, and they played like Crazy Train and Mama I'm Coming Home at the funeral and stuff. And he had I don't know what year, some type of Chevy Camaro is what he had. Never seen it anywhere else, or never noticed it. And then one day I picked my son up from school. He wanted McDonald's. We're sitting in the drive-thru. Mama I'm Coming Home came on, and in the parking lot was a car just like his. And I was like, oh, that's Pat saying hi.
Aww.
But yeah, she said he talks, like she said, I don't know if it's just in my head or if it's him. I hear in my head, I hear him talking to me.
Yep. Our friend Michelle and Doug619 who passed.
Yeah.
Doug always said, it's in the music. It's in the music. And I've had music messages from him, and Corey's had music messages from him, and Michelle gets music messages from him. It's a great way for them to communicate with us. It is a great way. And it's so uplifting. And it's extremely personal because those are all personal memories that you had with that person.
Yeah.
Well, Michelle, I'm going to turn some time over to Corey here in a couple of minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
I really, really appreciate you calling and talking about your experience, and I hope at least this was a little uplifting for you, and gave you a couple new tools to help your sweet sister-in-law. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. You can message me anytime if you run out of ideas. See if I can come up with some new ones for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Corey, dear? He doesn't hear me. He's in the kitchen. We'll talk for another minute. When he comes back in here, then I'll let him turn on his, get his programming started. Code Red says she's sending prayers your family's way, and boy, Sock said his first wife died in 2003. And it's a thing you carry with you. I've lost some friends, and it is a thing you carry with you. It changes, it shifts. Some days, after a while you come to a point where I know that in talking to people recently who've had loss, they've said, I'm finally at a point where I get up and I can go to work, and I go to my job at work, and I'm busy at work and I'm enjoying my day, and then it gets hard when I come home from work because now I'm alone. And I don't think about it during the day, and then I have noticed that I'm feeling guilty because I'm not thinking about, my person 24/7, and then I'm afraid that I will forget them or...
Yeah, I think she's afraid of that. I think that she's, I don't know. I don't think that she knows that she will never, but I don't think she wants, she'll sometimes be laughing and acting like she's really handling it well, and then it'll just hit her like a ton of bricks. So.
Of course. Sure it does. Oh, my goodness. Well, when that happens, you remind her it's just part of the process, and it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. We love hard, and we love true, and it stays with you, and the ache changes and morphs, but it doesn't go permanently away. And it's okay for her to have a good day without feeling sad and broken about it too. That's also okay. So yeah, some of the nighttime is the hardest. It's when you really get in your head. That's right, Jules. So.
Yeah, she has her daughters sometimes sleep in the bed with her. I'm like, that's totally okay too.
Absolutely.
Let them, absolutely,
Jump on the bed and then go to bed.
Yeah, because that's when they have the hardest time too.
Sure.
Especially her oldest. She really struggles at night about Pat. So.
Sure. Of course. Oh, well, give them all a hug, and lots of love from all of us. You've got lots of support and love behind you, and lots of sweet, comforting wishes coming your way. So,
thank you all.
You're welcome. Thanks for the call in. I'm going to turn the time over to Corey to get things started on his end now. And
I'll switch back over to that.
Okay. I'll see you guys over there. Thanks for being with us.
See you later.
Bye, Michelle. Okay, I'm just gonna thank you guys for joining. I hope that... Go ahead.